Hi, 10th graders. Miss Radcliffe here. Glad that you were able to find and follow my directions to coming to this very first lesson, lesson number 1. So we're going to go ahead and get started a little bit differently. Because we are starting on a whole different type of format, online learning, we're going to go over some distance learning and expectations and routines. And we'll start off with the goal and then go into your do now work. All right, so lesson number 1 is called Distance Learning Expectations and Routines. And we're going to, just like we did in class, we're going to read this goal out loud together. So I'll go ahead and start and say goal, and I want you to read with me what our goal is so that we're all super familiar with what we're supposed to achieve and accomplish at the end of this lesson. So here we go. Goal, I can identify online learning expectations and routines. So we'll start off each lesson with our do now work, just like we did in a traditional classroom. So this is what you need for your lesson today: your notebook, your pen or pencil, or writing utensil, and your iPad, of course. So here's what I want you to do now. You're going to find a quiet spot if you haven't already. Open up your notebooks, turn to your notes section, and get ready to take some notes on these expectations and routines. Now you can set up your notes however you like if you want to do Cornell note style, but this is what you're going to title it: Distance Learning, Expectations and Routines. And I urge you to write down these expectations and routines because there will be a quiz at the end of this, and these notes will come in handy. Now, I'm going to go fairly fast through this, and you are welcome to pause the video if you need more time. And I'm also including the slides themselves within this folder. So if you feel like I'm going a little bit too quick, again, you can pause the video, or you can always refer to the slides within the lesson 1 folder. All right, so our first expectation is attendance. So overall, you must complete a daily task with your advisory teacher every day through your daily Connect Schoology. So that's how we are going to prove that you have checked in each day, is through your daily Connect Schoology course daily task. So each day at the beginning of this, whenever you're starting your school day, you're going to click on your Daily Connect course, and your advisory teacher is the one who will be posting a daily task. You need to complete that daily task to prove that you were there each day. If you do not complete that daily task with your advisory teacher, you will be marked absent for the entire day. You are not taking individual attendance within each class each day. So it's really important that you are checking in with your Daily Connect course every single day so that you are not marked absent. Now, specifically for English, although I'm not marking your attendance each day because I know some of you will not be able to log on for English class every single day, and that's okay. We're going to talk about the structure a little bit later, but this is what I am expecting of you as far as getting your work done each week. You must complete the assignments in the weekly folder by Friday each week by 11:59 p.m. So everything that's assigned for this week, starting April 6th, Monday, April 6th, is due by the end of the week, Friday, April 10th. Now, just like I said, so you have to complete everything within this week 1 folder. Now, if I'm noticing come week 2 that you have not completed anything within that folder, I'm going to be calling to check in. And this is just to really just ensure that, A, you have access to all of your required materials, right? Your iPad, a charger, Wi-Fi, etc., and that you're able to keep up with the work. So that's kind of my check-in to make sure that you know what's going on and you're not missing anything, because this all is going towards a grade for quarter four. All right, so communication. So I broke it down into a few categories. There's going to be whole class communication, and this is, of course, messages that go out to the entire class. And then there's also more like personal one-on-one questions. So for whole class communication, I'm going to be communicating mainly through course updates. So a lot of you were able to locate that 2 weeks ago, and it worked pretty slick. So this is where I'm going to be sending my class messages through course updates here. So on the left here, you'll see it pictured. I'm sorry, the picture on the right, but the updates are located on that left column there that says updates. You click on that and you'll see the newest update, right? And you can comment or like it. This is where I'm going to post any new information that I need to get out to all of my classes and all of my students. Now, if you have any questions, just like you had questions a few weeks ago with these updates, you for sure can ask these questions, these whole group questions, for the class. So if it makes sense that other people in the class might have that same question, put your question there and I will answer it. So whole class questions can be asked here as well. And then also what kind of falls under whole class communication are my office hours. Now, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday are kind of like your lesson days. Tuesdays and Thursdays are going to be my office hour days. Now let me explain and read what this means. So I'm going to use these days to answer any questions about your lessons or your assignments. And I'm still kind of trying to play around with some video conferencing, different platforms that will work for us. So we will not meet that way to begin with, but eventually that's what I'm going to try and set up a platform so that the whole class can meet and we can maybe even do a live video with a lesson. But I'm still trying to kind of work all of those things out. So for the time being, my office hours are again going to be Tuesdays and Thursdays. And this is for more of a speedy response where I'm going to be glued to my email from 8:30 a.m. to 3 p.m. school hours, and you can ask me any questions that you need to ask me. Okay, so if it's a lesson that you're having a hard time with, if you are having a hard time with a link for something, this is where you will drop an email and I will do my best to respond quickly. Now, eventually, Tuesdays and Thursdays are also going to be, I'm going to have a sign-up sheet in the future for video chats. So I'm looking into platforms such as Zoom and Google Voice, but it's kind of TBD or to be determined on whether I'm going, which one I'm going to use. So I want you to know that that's happening in the near future. But as for now, the quickest response that you're going to get from me is Tuesdays and Thursdays from 8:30 to 3 a.m. to email me. Okay? Now, of course, you can email me whenever you need to. It just might not be that automatic response that I will have on Tuesdays and Thursdays. But personal communication, any questions that you are confused about, assignments that you're confused about, again, do not hesitate to email me at where I have listed here, tony.radcliffe without the E at spps.org. So that's it for communication. Next is grading. I had a few questions around quarter 3 grades. What does that mean? So on and so forth. So I'm just going to lay it all out here for you. So your quarter 4 grade will also be your quarter 3 grade. So try your best. So they came to the conclusion, the district decided that it wasn't very fair to give you a grade for quarter 3 because we stopped right smack dab in the middle. So what they're going to do is whatever you earned for quarter 4 through online learning, you're also going to earn for quarter 3. So keep that in mind. Now, everything that you are turning in by Friday each week will be graded over the weekend and posted and updated by 3 p.m. every Monday. So feedback and the actual grade for each assignment will be given every Monday, following Monday. Now, if you have any questions about your grade or questions about the assignment itself, again, email me as soon as possible and ask these questions. Next up is class structure. So here's how English is going to work. We're going to have 3 lessons each week. Now, I didn't really want to assign it to a specific date because I know that you guys have other things going on and it's going to be hard to do daily assignments. So here's how it's going to be broken down for that very first week. Okay, so it looks something like this, where you will have the week folder, the weekly folder, week 1, the dates behind it, and then you'll have 3 lessons. Now, each lesson needs to be completed in order. So you can't move on to lesson 2 until you have viewed and completed anything within lesson 1. Okay? So for example, if you click on the lesson 3 folder, you'll see that we have the lesson video. You'll have the slides, access to the slides that are within that video. And then there's a quiz that you have to complete in order to move on to the next week. Okay? So again, you have to complete this within in order. Again, for the classroom structure, so technically you could be doing these 3 lessons Monday, Wednesday, Friday, but you don't need to. You could complete all of them, all 3 lessons on Monday if you'd like. But again, just to kind of give you some consistency, Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'm going to have my office hours for you to email and ask questions on those days, okay? And I'm also going to reserve Tuesdays and Thursdays to do some IRB reading, some independent reading, okay? And we'll talk a little bit about Libby and, if you don't have a book at home, we'll talk about how we're going to do that. Okay, so Tuesdays and Thursdays will be more reserved for your independent reading and office hours. Now here's your daily routine. So here's what is expected of you when you log in to English. Of course, you're going to click on your course, find your English 10 quarter 4 course. You're going to find that weekly folder. And then you're going to click on that folder and follow the directions carefully. Again, you must complete each task before you move on to the next lesson folder. So again, you can't skip ahead to lesson 3 because you'd rather do that before you finish lessons 1 and 2. It has to happen sequentially. Where you do watch the video, look through the slides if need be, complete the quiz. All right, when you have completed the folder, it will be graded and you will receive some feedback. And I put this here if you get behind, please reach out early. Okay, it might sound like, I don't have to check into English each day, therefore I'm going to wait until Friday at 8 p.m. to do all of my lessons. Make sure that you are managing your time well and setting up a schedule specifically for English on when are you going to complete those 3 lessons each week. And again, reach out if you do get behind and let me know what you need. All right, 10th graders, that is everything for this very first lesson. You're now done with the lesson 1 video. You are going to now complete your distance learning expectations and routines quiz. But if you logged out for some reason, here are the specific steps for getting there.